Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Thursday. We have 5 games starting at 7:30, so a lot smaller of a slate than yesterday's 11-gamer, which ended up being crazy. We still made out on DraftKings with a 247, believe it or not, as it was that low scoring of a night. A lot of the superstars ended up busting, and some of the value plays ended up busting. The core in the original video did do well, except for Jeff Green. Like, had Capella, had LeVert in there, which were great, and then, of course, I got off of them as the day went on, but hopefully, you guys had some good plays. Hopefully, some of you made some money. And let's get into this one. So, as always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already. You can check out Twitter if you want the updates. Check out the website, links in description, and let's get started. So, 5 games tonight is also the trade deadline, so we could see some of these teams be a bit shorthanded if they make some moves. Thank God it's not 11 game slate, as that would have been crazy on trade deadline day. But let's get started at the point guard position, where it's Russell Westbrook sitting at $10,900. Shot absolutely garbage against the Knicks last game. Still was all right, but that price tag is way too high for him to be dropping 40.5 and like would have killed you last game. It's the same matchup here. Price tag went up by 100. I'm not really feeling it. I'd rather go a bit cheaper with like a De'Aaron Fox against the Warriors, who I think looks like a great play. We have Damian Lillard at $10,000 after he's been a little bit poor since CJ McCollum's been back. He's not been putting up as high of scores. That's definitely gonna. I mean, I'm waiting for his price tag to go down a little bit more. The matchup is not the best against Miami. Once again, the two late night games are the ones I want to target the most. Philly Lakers and Golden State Sacramento. Philly still shorthanded without Embiid, potentially missing Curry and Danny Green tonight. And the Lakers still shorthanded a bunch. The Kings a bit shorthanded. They traded away Corey Joseph, so they don't really have anybody to play backup point guard, which would probably help Tyrese Halliburton get those backup point guard minutes. And the Warriors shorthanded. So those are the 4 main teams I want to target today's. Fox at $8,700. He looks great. He's been playing out of his mind the last few games. Against the Hawks last night was 50. Against the Cavs, put up almost 50 as well. Really efficient player. There's nobody that can really slow him down against on this Warriors team. I'm expecting another big game out of Fox. I like Fox more than Ben Simmons. Like, even with Embiid out, Simmons has been kind of poor. He's had one decent game. It's been Tobias who's really stepped up, so I like Tobias more than Simmons. And then I'm looking at Dennis Schroeder a bit at $6,800, just because even though he shot 2 of 10, he was still fine with 35 DraftKings points. I would expect him to be a bit better. The Lakers have been struggling a lot without LeBron. They haven't had anybody to really drive the offense. Shooter has shown some abilities in the past. I would expect him and Kuzma to be the guys that have the most upside on this team, and they're both. It's not the best matchup. Philly is a good defensive team even without Embiid, but I do like Shooter a bit at 6,800. And then it's Jordan Poole. Tough to get away from him a bit. He shot really bad against the Sixers last game, 5 of 16. But he's a guy that's going to be out there. He played 39 minutes. The minutes are going to be huge for him. He shoots a bunch. He's going to be him, Wiggins, Oubre, going to shoot the most on the team. Draymond doesn't really shoot. Wiseman shoots a little bit, but out of the guys with the most upside, it's really Poole, who really looks good at 6,100. I love Halliburton at 6,000. He's been playing more minutes recently, and I was expecting him to play a lot of minutes tonight. Get some backup point guard minutes without Corey Joseph, so that would help him with the assists, get some more peripherals, and get some more usage if he's out there without Fox, without Buddy Hield. And then value, if Dragic misses again, you could take a shot with Tyler Hero. He's pretty affordable. And that's mainly it at the position. You have like Alex Caruso if you wanted to completely punt at the position. He is not the worst play. For me right now, I'm going to go with Jordan Poole at 6,100. At shooting guard, I like Bradley Beal. I like him more than Russell Westbrook. Just looking at the price difference, you save $1,700 getting a guy with not as much upside, but he still can drop 50, 60 just if he goes nuts shooting. Then you have Wiggins coming off of a tough game against the Sixers, only 17.5. Still gives you a lot of upside, so he still should be in play on a 5-game slate. The matchup is just so much better going up against the Sixers going up against the Kings, who play super fast. They are one of the worst defensive teams in the league, and he was defended by Ben Simmons, who's making his case for Defensive Player of the Year. So I would expect a much better game out of Wiggins tonight. I like Buddy Hield as well, 65, just going to get some more usage. He shoots a lot. Him, Halliburton, both look good on the Kings. And then you can look to some cheaper plays at the position. If there is no Seth Curry, you can look to Korkmaz at 41. You can always look to Caruso right now until Lakers get a little bit more healthy. And then Damian Lee is only 39 if you wanted to take a shot with him. I'm going to go with Halliburton. He's just too cheap, $6,000. Really good spot against the Warriors. That is the best game to target on the slate. Small forward, I like Jimmy Butler at 9,000. Good spot against Portland for the Heat. Kawhi looks all right as well at 8,800. He had 5 steals last night. Helped him. Also shot unbelievably well with 9 of 12, but he also lost some minutes due to the blowout. So $8,800 once again against his former team. He looks like a decent option. I like him more than Ben Simmons. DeRozan is cheap at $8,200. He was pretty bad last game, but he's been really good all season. Consistent. Price tag is really cheap compared to, like, you're saving a few $100. He's like 84, 8,500 recently. He's going to be defended by Kawhi, so it's not an easy spot for DeRozan, but he gets the ball in his hands a lot. He gets so much usage on the team. Kuzma finally had a decent game. He shoots a bunch. He gets the ball in his hands a lot. I think he looks good tonight against Philly. Not the best spot, but there's not a ton of options on a 5-game slate. And I'll take a shot with that. Kuzma will soon get hot from the floor. 6 of 14, 5 of 16 the last couple games. The minutes are going to be there for him, 36, 37. And the usage is going to be there, potentially to get you a double-double. I think he looks good at the small forward position. Kelly Oubre also looks like a nice option. Finally bounced back after a couple of bad games. Expected him to have a good game before Curry comes back. Had a great game. Expect him to potentially follow that up against the Kings tonight. So do like Oubre a lot. He's a bit of a streaky player and he had a great game last time out. So I'm assuming he can stay hot for at least 1 or 2 more games. So definitely looking at Kelly Oubre tonight at $6,200. And that's mainly it at the small forward position. If you wanted to go cheap, you can look to Korkmaz, Derek Jones, Damian Lee. They're all okay punt plays, in my opinion. A power forward, I like Kelly Oubre a lot. I'm not going to go all the way up to Julius Randle. I like Tobias. I like him more than Draymond. Holmes is in play, but I'll probably look to like Barnes, $1,000 cheaper. I like Covington at only $5,700. And then you have Carmelo is cheap. You have probably the Lakers. Morris is a guy that I like a little bit more. Markieff at $4,700. And that's mainly it. I don't see myself going in the 3K range at power forward. At center, not really looking at Randall tonight. I like Bam at only $8,000. I like Montrez at $7,000. Covington looks pretty good at $5,700. Probably be defending Jimmy Butler all game, so he'll be out there a lot tonight. And then you have Wiseman is $4,800. He got the start last game. They said he'll start going forward. Played 26 minutes. He's a guy that can have a good game with the blocks. If he has one of those outlier performances, he will also shoot a lot. As Draymond will try to get to him the ball in the paint. And hopefully he can maybe carve out a double-double soon. Great spot against Sacramento. They give up so many points in the paint that I think Wiseman can feast if he wants to. So I definitely like him. Bradley had a career game against the Warriors last time out with 41 DraftKings points, played 33 minutes. He's cheap. Never really know who's going to go off between him. Then they have Dwight Howard, who's more expensive, so I'd probably definitely take a shot on Bradley over Howard. And that's it at the position. Moving on to guard. Here it's Schroeder, $6,800. I like Wiggins at $6,700. I think they both look like pretty good options here. And then you have Buddy Hield at $6,500. I'm not going to Hield. He's affordable. Shot 5 of 18 against the Hawks last night. Expect him to be better. He's shown a lot of upside recently, and he has shown a bit more of a consistent floor. Without Corey Joseph, potentially get the ball in his hands a little bit more. I think he looks really good. If you want us to save some money and you don't have the ability to get up to De'Aaron Fox, you can definitely look at a guy like Buddy Hield. If you can, all right, I'll probably put Schroeder in at the guard position at $6,800, and then I like Buddy Hield at small forward or in the forwards position. So that's it for this one. I'm really liking the last 2 games of the night so far, like the Sixers-Lakers game, and so far I haven't plugged in a Sixer here, but that would probably be Tobias. Or looking at some of the value plays if there is no Curry or no Danny Green tonight. And then the Kings are just really nice to target, and the Warriors as well. So that's it for the DraftKings side. Let's go over to FanDuel. Over at FanDuel, Point guard options, it's really expensive Russell Westbrook. I cannot recommend him tonight on FanDuel. I definitely like Lillard way more at 9,400. I like Fox a lot more at 8,900. Ben Simmons looks good. Dennis Schroeder. You have an affordable Jordan Poole. So I cannot play Russell Westbrook tonight on FanDuel. And if you wanted to go cheap, you maybe could look at Shake Milton if the Sixers are still a little bit shorthanded. They already are without Embiid, but they could be more if there is no Danny Green and no Curry. And then that's mainly it at the position. I don't see myself going cheap. If you wanted to go with a punt play, you can look to Alex Caruso at 3,600. But the guy I'm going to plug in is Jordan Poole at 6,200. He's just a little bit too cheap for the upside that he has shown and the usage that he's been getting without Steph Curry. At shooting guard, I don't mind getting to Bradley Beal. I don't mind getting to Paul George. And then you have the 6K range, which I do like a lot. Andrew Wiggins, Buddy Hield. They both look strong plays. A 5K range. It's definitely going to be Tyrese Halliburton. Expecting him to have another big game tonight. Especially that Corey Joseph news is going to be big for him. I'm expecting him to get the backup point guard duties, which will just help have him get more assists and more usage. So he looks really, really good. Probably my favorite play of the slate. Small forward, if you can't get up to a Kawhi, maybe you can look to Jimmy Butler. They already bumped up Kelly Oubre up to 7,200. He still looks good, but he looks better on DraftKings. I like Kyle Kuzma at 7,000. Harrison Barnes he's never a fun player to roster. He's going up against his former team, so maybe he plays better. 6,000, but he's just played so many minutes. He's played 40. He's played 40 and 40 minutes the last, or 41 and 41 minutes the last two games. Shot the ball poorly last night. He's just out there. Hopefully he has like a 30, 33, 38 performance. 6,000, he's not the worst play at small forward. Then you have Keldon Johnson, who's cheap. You have Rui, who's 5,200. And that's mainly it here. I don't think there's anybody in the 3K range I'm really looking at. Maybe like Thibault if the Sixers are shorthanded. But it's going to be Kyle Kuzma at 7,000. Power forward options, it's Julius Randle. I'm not going to get to him at 10,200. I like the bias more. I love Bam at 8,000. I like Draymond at 7,000. Bradley is not really in play on for me at 54. He looks better at 43 on DraftKings. Then you can look to maybe the Morris brothers, 4,700 for Markieff. And that's it. So for me, it's going to be looking at like this guys above 7,000 right now, and I like Draymond. It's because he's still affordable at 7K. We know he has upside to kind of fill up all areas of the stat sheet. He can get a triple double, and it's a really good spot against Sacramento to kind of fill up like the stat sheet against them. And then center options, it's really expensive for Sean Holmes. I won't be getting to that. Maybe you can look to Montrez. He's also kind of expensive at 75. You have Mitchell Robinson, 6,200. He looks fine, but there's a chance he could come off the bench again. He had a really good game off the bench, but normally you want your guys starting. Zubats is going to start again at 56. He's not the worst play. And then you have James Wiseman sitting at only 4,200 against the Kings. This is one of those spots where I expect a good performance out of him. Even if he has a bad game, I'm expecting like at least low 20s, which is still almost 6x. If he has a better game, he can drop 30 plus. So hopefully the minutes are there. Hopefully maybe it creeps closer to 30 tonight. And there's just a lot of usage to go around until Curry comes back for the team. Wiseman at 42 against the Kings. I think you can do a lot. I think you can do can't do much worse than that at that price tag. So that's pretty much it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck tonight, and see you all next time.